It is no doubt that eating inside is less than ideal. The pesky barriers located at the center of the table make it hard to hear the person next to you, and nearly impossible to hear the person across from you. Students have tried to escape the troubles of indoor lunch by eating outside, but they are met by something arguably more annoying: bees. The bees have infested the daily routine of eating lunch, but very much to their expense. While some students have simply ignored the bothersome bees, others have resorted to straight panic whenever a bee shows up. As intrusive as it has been, maybe there is a way to put an end to all the madness.
My best advice is don't wear bright clothing. I see bright clothing as like something to go after. So that's one big thing. So if you wear like darker clothes or just like whites, usually kind of stay away from you.
Most students have already tried taking matters into their own hands by attempting to kill or ward away the bees that bother them. But killing the bees makes us ask another question. Is killing a bee unethical?
Absolutely not. Kill them at all costs.
There's so many bees out there. I guess really killing one's not really that big a deal, so probably not.
Yes, I definitely believe it's unethical. I don't think that we should kill any bees.
After our interviews, the responses seemed to be a mixed reaction. Some thought it wouldn't be ethical, where others believed it would be necessary to keep the bees away from us during lunch. But one thing is for certain. When you're eating outside, make sure you watch where you put your fork, because you might find yourself sharing lunch with a couple bees.
Coming up, Wade, Kieran, and Luke single out Rice's aspiring artists by featuring some high-quality beats created by some of our students. Laith and Yaldu get political with Mr. Ciaravino about this year's political race. It wouldn't be a school year without Rice students complaining about something. We join Kejbu and Hendy to find out the student body's opinion on the one-way traffic rule currently in place throughout our school. Dantes and Tribble carry on the tradition of compiling a list of survival tips for our newest warriors. All this and more in today's season premiere of the Chieftain Live.
Good afternoon, Brother Rice. Welcome to the season premiere of the Chieftain Live. My name is Braden Willis. Thank you for joining me. Brother Rice students all possess a plethora of different interests and talents, such as athleticism or strength. But what about something that we can all relate to in some way? Music. Wade, Kieran, and Luke are here to single out Brother Rice's upcoming musical artists.
Hey there folks, thanks for tuning in. Today we have several Brother Rice students to debut their talent on this segment of Beats Made by Brother Rice Students. Kids around the school are showing off their ingenuity with musical technology by putting together beats and pieces of music using resources provided themselves and by the school. We'll start off by showing you a little beat by Senior George Nagumo. Let's roll it. That's hot. I love that combination of airy production and the delicate bells. Now, let's get ready to rock out with this piece by Senior Tommy LaMarche. Roll it. I love those rocking guitars and the halftime drum patterns. And finally, folks, we're going to end off with a little lo-fi production put together by yours truly. With love, let's roll it. Okay, folks, that'll conclude this edition of Beats Made by Brother Rice Students. Thanks for tuning in, and
In today's world, politics are unavoidable. Whether it be in the news, on advertisements, or even in video games targeted towards children like the new Animal Crossing, it is nearly impossible to go at least a day without hearing a political statement of some sort. With the presidential election a couple of months away, things are really starting to heat up. Laith and Yaldu hit up our political consultant, Mr. Ciaravino, to get to the bottom of this unusual election.
This year is one of the closest election years we've had in a long time, and it's creating conflict between Americans like no other. The question among all Americans' minds is who will win the election and what will be the most important factor in deciding this. These questions will decide the future of our election in America itself. In a recent Chieftain live poll, students of Brother Rice High School selected President Donald Trump as odds-on favorite in a landslide to take the 2020 election. However, recent polls have shown Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden are in a deadlock.
This is one of the most shaky electoral maps we've seen in a long time. If the phrase "too close to call" applies anywhere, it definitely applies in this election. I wouldn't be surprised if President Trump was reelected, and I also wouldn't be surprised if Joe Biden wins, based not on his own merits, but on the general discord that many people have in this country for President Trump, right, wrong, or indifferent.
While the election is going to come down to the wire, it's anybody's guess what factor will decide this year's election.
It could be COVID focus, it could be jobs focus, it could be that I don't like the president's antics, so I don't want to vote for him. Even though I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Republican, I'm still not going to vote for him because I'm not happy with his antics. Who knows? But it could be that maybe I'll just vote for Biden because he's not so bad, and he's the lesser of two evils. So it seems to be one of those like, who do you hate less elections.
As the election approaches, conflicts will arise among Americans and the candidates for our elections. What will those conflicts be, and how will it reflect our upcoming election? So make sure to stay tuned for next time.
If you've set foot inside of Brother Rice, then you've probably experienced the new one-way traffic setup implored by our school officials. Despite it being a great step in the right direction in the name of safety, many students find it tedious and difficult to navigate at times, even resulting in tardies in some cases. Let's turn to Kejbu and Hendy to see how the student body feels about the one-way traffic layout.
COVID-19 has affected our community in lots of different ways this year. Many changes have come our way in the 2020-2021 school year, like having to wear a mask, cleaning the desk after class, and also, one of the new things implemented is the one-way hallways. The one-way hallways has a mixed opinions, but it seems both sides are very strong in their points.
I honestly love them so much. They're really good for the school. They're really smart. We can only take one hallway. I love them. We should keep doing these, make everyone safe. All you have to do is go one way, and everything's okay.
I think the one-way hallways are important for in between classes, specifically when we have a lot of traffic coming through, to make sure that students are all following the same way and just trying to limit contact with each other. Obviously it's longer time-wise for people to travel all the way around the school to get to the classes that they need to, so it's unfortunate for a lot of guys that want to sit and hang out with their friends in the hallway, but it's important to get to class on time, so use your time wisely and just follow the arrows if you can, and I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Took me a little bit to strategically plan to get from my classroom to the music room where I teach, but I understand the importance of keeping everyone safe, so we've gotten used to it, and it's what we need to do at the moment. The first couple weeks, I think just people getting used to knowing how to get to their class quickly. I know there's some difficulty for those who have classes in the same hallway, who can't go in the one direction 2 classes over. But again, we all have to, make some changes just to make sure we can be in school.
Most freshmen in the building are given a hard time by older students and staff members, and with good reason. They're new and prone to making a lot of mistakes as they're still making the initial transition from middle school to high school. For all of those confused freshmen out there, Dantes and Tribol are here to give you some survival tips to excel in your new environment.
It's widely known by all Brother Rice has a tough transition from 8th grade to freshman year, and it takes a while for new students to adjust. Here are some pro survival tips to help you freshmen get through the start of the new school year.
Definitely do your service hours and get to know all your classmates. If you have to study for a test, do it ahead of time, like a couple days, like 2 or 3 prior to your test.
Don't slack off freshman year because you'll have to dig yourself out of a hole. And also do not disrespect your teachers.
Don't fall behind in class. Do is do all your homework, because I also didn't do that as a freshman, and that came back to bite me in the butt.
Actually study for all your tests. Don't just blow off with freshman year, because it is important to your GPA when you get older.
Is don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to get involved.
Brother Rice is known for their dominant athletic program. You never want to miss a game of either football or basketball.
Go to as many sporting events as
I
possible.
know right now we can't go to sports, but when we can, definitely go to all the games.
And all the events, that's something I didn't do, and that's something that I regret.
It's easy to catch a detention at Rice. Make sure you're always well behaved and come here with a positive attitude ready to learn.
And a don't would definitely have to be not to mess around in Mr. Philo's class.
Don't pick fights, don't start beef with people at a young age, especially teachers. You want good relations with them.
Always make sure you're at school, so don't skip school.
Not to ask stupid questions, and don't act like an idiot.
Follow our dress code. Make sure you read the handbook. Always say hi and build relationship. Number 2, always make it a great day.
With all these survival tips, freshmen should be ready to go and to have a successful school year. Best of luck and welcome to Brother Rice.
That's all we have for you today, Brother Rice. Stay tuned in for the next edition of the Chieftain Live coming to you in the near future. I'm Braden Willis, and I'll see you from 6 feet away.